Transformation is one person at a time. Most people do not understand the power of one. It is stronger when you are the transformed person, so you allow people to look at your life. 1 million is 1 plus 1, help me, plus 1 plus 1. Every one you take out of 1 million stops it from being 1 million. The change cannot happen until your approach is systematized. So if you say 1 is so insignificant, reduce 1 from 1 million, it can never be called 1 million again. You see that? So for every one person you change, every one person who your transformative programs affect, you are increasing the momentum. What makes 1 million 1 million is the strength of many ones. Your life becomes a vista. It becomes the clearest portrait of what you are selling. I think the first key creating any change is to become the example of what you want to advocate. You see that? You systematize your approach by building programs that reflect your approach. Did you get that?
During Apostle's visit to Harvard University, when he delivered his first lecture on the role of faith and religious identification in socio-economic development of Africa, and that was his first lecture, someone asked a question, and the question was, how can we Christians and Christian leaders make pastors, make Christian leaders to focus on building a community, on building the church, and this was Apostle's reply.
So we do not respect the power of small, constructive, effective progress. If you have a chance to transform people like the minds in this room now, I think most people, and especially those of us who are of the African descent, we are used to big things, big cars, big houses. I hope I'm not wasting your time, am I? You have to gain the advantage of relating with global minds. You would prefer to make noise around a stadium than to constructively distill your knowledge to people who can create something that is, and this is what this platform provides. And so from the lens of those minds, you can come up with programs and probably tailor make it to suit the African continent. There are so many things we do. I'll give you an example. I am one person who believes in the power of faith and spirituality. So our approach was prayers. And once people begin to see you translate spirituality to a context they can relate with, now they are ready to listen. Even if they won't believe, they will respect the fact that there are fruits to your advocacy. It's not blind fanaticism. And so if we are to create a debate, say on social media, you'll be amazed at the number of unintelligent people who will be interested in responding. But it ends up as noise coming from different angles. You cannot change a system you are currently a victim of. You have to come out of that system mentally.
During the Apostle's visit to Harvard University, when he delivered his first lecture on the role of faith and religious identification in the socio-economic development of Africa, during the question and answer section, someone asked Apostle a question, and the question was, how can we Christians, how can we Christian leaders make pastors and Christian leaders to focus on building a community, on building the people, building the church, and not just focus on building church auditorium.
Jesus started with 12 disciples. Am I right on that? And then, the Bible and Christian writings would tell us that then 120 people, look how small they were, but look how detailed he was in instilling his mindset and helping them understand the project. And he didn't fail. In our social responsibility, we never bring prejudices of religion. Never. You see that? Then you will now be able to create programs that gradually, it won't happen overnight, I can tell you, gradually begins to influence the system. You must believe that you're not just a number in the midst of many. South Africa was changed by many, but changed by one. Great people like Mahatma Gandhi and and all of the people who have advocated social transformations. They didn't do it alone, but they started it and they maintained the momentum. You see that now? So imagine that he tried to do that to the 5,000 he fed. He only fed them and let them go home. But when it had to do with building people who would advocate his ideas, he took time. Even when he resurrected, he said, look, leave my resurrection, get together, I need to talk to you. And he spent 40 more days helping them until you see yourself as an advocate that can bring change. Remember my example of 1,000,001? So you are one, but you are a significant one. Do you know why? Because you are one who is in an ongoing process of constructive transformation.
And not just build church auditoriums and focus on building church auditorium, but building the church and bringing genuine Christianity that is not based on extremism and fanaticism. Thank you for joining us today. I believe the message today blessed you so much. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share for more people, and let us do the work of an evangelist by sharing this message